In the TV show Stranger Things, one of the characters, named Barbara Hollins, she makes this mistake of giving in to peer pressure and slicing her hands deeply, trying to do a beer trick. In the end, this led to her being taken by the Demogorgon and created a larger problem and an extraordinary struggle. The actions of Barb in Stranger Things reminds me of what Angus Allen said, that almost anything is easier to get into than it is to get out of. And from this, we can learn that fixing a mistake is harder than it is to make one, for two key reasons. First, mistakes are often made because of ignorance. And second, because making mistakes puts the one who made the mistake at a clear disadvantage. First, making mistakes is easy because they are born out of ignorance. This was seen in two key examples: the book The Well of Ascension and the movie The Terminator. First, in Brandon Sanderson's book The Well of Ascension, the main character, Vin, spends most of the time learning about this deepness and this unknown danger, and all of the characters she works with, such as Eland the King and the Terraceman Keeper named Sazed. And in the end, they complete their goal of what they believed would defeat the deepness. But out of the ignorance that they did not know was that all of the prophecies were written by the deepness itself. And in the end, they released what they were trying to defeat. This is an example of how not knowing can create mistakes that are born out of ignorance. Plus, in the movie The Terminator, Skynet, the company that creates the Terminator, knows not what the capabilities of what this killing machine is. The machine has but one goal: to terminate Sarah. And in the end, we can see that so much more damage was done because they knew not what its capabilities were. Making mistakes is often born out of ignorance because of what you don't know. You can't prepare for what you don't know because of these mistakes that are made out of ignorance. Not only are mistakes made out of ignorance, but making mistakes puts you at a disadvantage. This was seen in two different ways. First, the Battle of Fort Washington of the American Revolution, and second, in the Harry Potter series. Now, at the Battle of Fort Washington, General Washington knew that they were going to be attacked, yet he did not pull his troops from the fort, putting them open to an attack. When the fort was attacked, they suffered many losses and many materials that were taken from them. When these materials were lost from them, and they had so many less troops, Washington had made that mistake, and because of that, it put him at a disadvantage within the war. Not only did he have to recuperate for all of his losses, but he also had to continue with the war. This put him at a key disadvantage. Also, in J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter series, the 5th book, The Order of the Phoenix, the characters, Harry Potter and his group of friends, make the mistake of leaving the list of all those participating in the Dumbledore's army, a secret club designed to help the students learn how to defend themselves within the room of requirement. By doing this, they put themselves at mercy when Professor Umbridge had gotten more power for Dumbledore's mistakes and the students' mistakes, because they now had even more of a disadvantage to try and teach themselves. In the end, making mistakes puts you at a disadvantage. Today, we considered the words of Angus Allen, that almost anything is easier to get into than it is to get out of. And what the author is telling us is that fixing mistakes is harder than making them. And this is true because mistakes are born of ignorance and because mistakes create disadvantages. Barbara Harlen made a mistake that not only was made out of ignorance of the Demogorgon, but also put her at a disadvantage in being able to get back to the real world. It is best to avoid mistakes because many things can't be undone. Thank you.